Hi, thanks for joining me today. This video is going to explore some poses that we can do to help strengthen our gluteal muscles. So our glutes are very important for stability with the hips, and if you are an equestrian, they're very important for your stability in the saddle. And anytime we are moving, walking, running, dancing, whatever we're doing, our gluteal muscles support the pelvis in those movements. And when we sit a lot, those gluteal muscles can be overstretched and weak. So we're going to do some things low to the ground today to work on gluteal muscle strength. So start just in a comfortable seated position. I have something to sit up on. I have a blanket here to give my hips a little height to bring my spine into a more neutral position. You can also do this first a little bit in a chair if you would like. But just take a few moments, nice long spine, shoulders relaxing, think of even weight in your sit bones, and let the eyes close and just take a few moments to just land in the space that you're in today and begin to notice how your body feels. Notice your energy level. And begin to notice your breath and your breathing. And just become aware of each breath gently moving in and out of the nose. And then begin to consciously take a deeper breath in, letting the breath drop into the bottom of the lungs. And a longer breath out. And again, just taking a few moments to check in and just see how you feel today. And remember to keep this conscious breathing going throughout your movements, your practice today. And very gently let the eyes open. So if you are seated up on something, just go ahead and move that out of the way. We're going to do just a little movement to warm up the hips and the gluteal muscles a little bit. So from the seated position, bring your legs out to the edges of the mat, the toes turned out a little bit, fingertips behind to keep that nice length in your spine, and then let the knees drop over to one side so you're getting a little release in the hips, a little stretch in that gluteal muscle, and then shift the knees to the other side. So just do that a few times, just back and forth. You feel the weight kind of shift across the sit bones, one direction, the other direction, the base of the pelvis. And if you've been sitting a lot, you know, these areas can be tight. So just starting with a little warm up, little movement. And if you'd like, you can do a little glance over the opposite shoulder as the knees go one way. You can look the other direction. And then coming back to center, go ahead and come to all fours, come into table pose. So make sure to set up your foundation. We want the wrists right underneath the shoulders, the knees right underneath the hips. Think of the lowest ribs drawing towards the hips. So we're finding that core connection. Find your breath here, inhaling and exhaling, crown of the head lengthening forward, tip of the tailbone reaching back. And then slowly slide the right leg back. Press through the heel. So the toes are to the mat. Find that nice length in your spine. Press into the top of your left foot. Press into both hands evenly. And then lift the right leg just to hip height. So as you do that, you should feel these gluteal muscles engage. Inhale and exhale. And then if that feels like you have a good balance, you can also extend the opposite arm, that left arm forward. So think of those back toes, those right toes stay turning down. So we're rotating that inner thigh in towards the midline, and you'll feel that a little bit in that outer part of your gluteal muscle, your glute med muscle. Inhale and exhale. And then inhale, lengthening through the crown of the head. Keep a length in your spine. As you exhale, bend your elbow back towards your hip and bring your opposite knee towards your opposite elbow. And then extend forward. And then this time, as you do the same thing, we're going to round the spine. So exhale, round the spine in. And then inhale, extend back out. And again, exhale, keep the spine lengthened, crown of the head reaching forward. And then extend back out. And then once again, rounding everything through. And extend back out. Now release the left hand, release the right leg. Fold back to a child pose, hips towards the heels, forehead towards the mat. Just for a breath, inhale and exhale. And then press into the hands and the feet, come back up to your table pose, set the foundation, and then slide the left leg back. So same thing on the second side. So press into the right foot, top of the right foot, lift the left leg. Again, think of those toes staying pointing down. And there's no need to lift the leg higher than hip height. So think of keeping that nice alignment here. And then extend the right arm forward. Make sure you're breathing. You can always do this sequence with the hand down. You do not have to extend that right arm forward. Inhale and exhale. Again, think of your foundation. Press into the top of the right foot and that left palm. And then as you exhale, bring your right elbow towards the right hinge of your hip and left knee towards your left elbow. And then extend forward. And then exhale, rounding the spine now. And inhale, extend forward. And then exhale, drawing in with the spine lengthen. You feel that in the core. And then inhale, extend. And exhale again, round everything through. And inhale, extend. Release the right hand, the left leg. Fold back to child pose. Take a breath here. Inhale and exhale. And then press up to your table pose. Hands in front, curl your toes under. Sit bones up and back, come to a bent knee, downward facing dog. So press into the fingertips. Start with the knees bent, find a length in your spine, then press down through the right heel. Get a nice stretch in the back of the right leg, all the way up to those gluteal muscles. And then bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Bend the left knee. Once again, release the knees back down to the mat. Again, exhale, fold back to child pose. Inhale back to your table pose. So different variation of our bird dog that we were just doing. So arms again extend are underneath the shoulders. We're going to take the right leg, bring the right leg out to the side, press into the palms evenly, press into the top of that left foot. Lift your right leg any amount that you can off of the mat. So that's going to work these outer gluteal muscles here. Good. So again, we're lifting that right leg up, press through the heel. Then if you'd like, you can lift that opposite arm, that left arm to the side to feel that burn in that outer gluteal muscle. Inhale and exhale, and then release the left hand, release the right leg. Exhale, round the spine through cat pose, back to your child pose just for a breath. Again, get a little release. And then inhale, come back up to your table pose. Extend the left leg out to the side. Inhale, lift the left leg. Again, doesn't matter how high. Let's think of see if you can keep that pelvis as level as possible. Bring the right arm out to the side. Inhale and exhale. Good, another breath. Inhale and exhale. And then release the right hand. Release the left leg. Exhale again, fold back to child pose. So just a transition here. Get a nice stretch through the hips, lower back. Inhale, table pose. Exhale, hands in front, send your sit bones up and back, downward facing dog. Maybe pedal through the feet here, or with a leg straight, think of letting your hips shift a little side to side like your downward facing dog is wagging its tail. Inhale and exhale. Coming back to center, bring the knees back to the mat and curl the toes. Come back to that table pose. So again, this is going to be most of our foundation in this video, is this starting in our table pose. So from here, extend your right leg back once again. Lift the leg hip height. This time keep the toes pointed. Let me move a little bit away from my couch. So toes pointed. As you exhale, lower the foot and just barely tap the toes. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift back up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift back up. One more time. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift back up. Now, keeping the leg lifted, bend the knee, flex the foot. Inhale, extend the leg back out, foot flex. Exhale, so think bicep curls, except we're doing hamstring curls. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhaling, bending. Inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. Now keep the foot bent, knee bent, and then let's do a couple little pulses here. Inhale, and exhale. Good. Another breath, inhale, and exhale. And then draw the knee in towards the nose, around the spine, and then bring that leg back down. Your option before we do the second side, either a child pose to get the pressure off the wrist, or take downward facing dog for a nice stretch to the back of the leg, your option. Inhale. And exhale. Again, the breath is the most important part here. Make sure you're continuing to breathe as we go through these sequences. Now bring the knees back to the mat or coming up from your child pose. If you're in child pose, set up that table pose, your foundation. Extend the left leg back. So press into the top of the right foot, point the toes of that left leg, and then inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down, just barely touch. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Again, keep breathing, inhaling. And exhale. Good, once more, inhale and exhale. Now inhale, lift the leg, flex the foot, bend the knee, and then as you inhale, straighten the leg. As you exhale, bend that knee. Inhale and exhale and inhale. Keep pressing into the top of the that right foot, because that side is working too. Inhaling. And exhale, you should feel that in that outer right hip that's supporting you. And now keep that knee bent and little pulses up and down. Inhale and exhale. Good, inhaling and exhale. And then gently draw the knee in, again, round the spine, nice stretch. Bring that left leg back. And again, hands in front, send your sit bones up and back. Find your downward facing dog. Paddle through the feet or let your hips shift a little side to side. Nice big breath. And then release the knees back to the mat. Come back to your table pose. We'll do a little stretch here. So slide the right leg back once again. This time, sweep the right leg all the way off the left side of the mat. Press to the heel, so you feel a nice stretch in that outer hip and that lateral side of the body. Inhale and exhale. You can turn and look over that left shoulder, look for that right foot back there. Inhale and exhale. And then sweep, align the spine, and then sweep that right leg back, right knee back in, extend the left leg out. Left leg to the right, past the right side of your mat. Turn and look over that right shoulder, put that left foot back there, breathing. Inhale and exhale. And then very gently, again, align the spine, bring that left leg back behind you, left knee back down. This time, either cross the feet behind you or you can sweep the feet to one side, come back to that seated position. You can use your blanket or cushion underneath if you'd like. But land in your space once again. Let the hands rest on the thighs, palms up or down. Find that nice length through the crown of the head. Again, maybe close the eyes. Inhale and exhale. Just notice how you feel. Very gently let the eyes open. So thank you for joining me today. Again, that is a fast little sequence, quick little sequence that you can do to focus specifically on those gluteal muscles, glute max, med, and men. There we have 3 gluteal muscles that help support the pelvis. So very important. And again, a lot of the times, especially that last series that we were doing, you know, lifting and lowering the leg, we're getting just as much work in that foundation leg, the leg that's on the ground, as we are in that leg that's moving. So that's the same thing when you, I think maybe next week we'll work a little bit on glutes from a standing position, so balancing poses, because in that situation, the leg that is the standing leg is the leg that's doing, both of the legs are working, but that standing leg is working just as hard as the leg that you're focusing on. So again, thanks for joining me today, and please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I hope you'll check out information about Grey Horse Yoga in the information section below, and I'd love to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks. Bye-bye.